Folks, Palantir stock is in panic mode right now. It's quite the roller coaster to the downside. And this is despite a pretty impressive earnings report. But do not let the fear get to you. This is a golden opportunity. And in today's video, I'm going to break down why Palantir, the tier of the Palin, is poised to turn some savvy investors and traders and dip buyers into millionaires in the coming years. And for context, I've long been one of Palantir's most vocal believers. You can scroll back through my channel to find nearly 100 plus Palantir videos dating back to 2020. I've said that I've believed in Palantir during big bull cycles and during horrible bear cycles as well, and I continue to do so. Yesterday's earnings only strengthened my resolve. In today's video, you're going to be getting the big breakdown, the full breakdown, folks. Make sure to do your own due diligence on all ideas presented here on the channel. Okay, let's get to work. Timestamps down below. Okay, so if you are unfamiliar with Palantir, Palantir is essentially a big data software analytics company. Customers use their software to make better operational decisions. Palantir introduces those customers into its ecosystem and slowly scales them into generating more and more revenue as customers use more and more of their services and they see more and more proof of concept, and they do this with nearly every commercial and public sector category. But how do you value a company like this, and how do you predict where it's going to go? Well, one of the clearest ways to predict where a company is going is to look at the current trend that company is on and extrapolate that moving forward, allowing a margin for error. And luckily for us, Palantir just released their earnings yesterday, so let's talk net income. Palantir achieved GAAP profitability for the sixth consecutive quarter, the sixth one. During the dip in late 2022, early 2023, Palantir was considered to be done for by many short sellers and analysts. But so far, the overall trend has been back upward and aggressive. Q1 2023 net income was at $16.8 million. Q1 2024, it is at $105.5 million. That's more than a 6x just year over year when comparing the two quarters. You look at revenue growth, you're seeing a 21% jump over last year's Q1. Now, you may look at this 4% quarter over quarter improvement and say, okay, well, that's all right, but not extremely fast growth, right? But Palantir is stressing that you should analyze it using the rule of 40, which essentially says the way to look at a company's progress to judge a company's progress is not just focusing on revenue growth, but also focusing on your operating margin, because obviously not all revenue is created equal and the sum of your efforts can't be brought down to just revenue. Revenue that generates more profit margin is obviously going to be more valuable on a report than revenue that generates less margin, so you need both to have a good idea of the trend. And if you use the rule of 40, you can see that the sum of adjusted operating margin and year over year revenue growth is adding up to an uptrend that is breaking out pretty damn aggressively. In other words, you're getting more sales, and of those sales, you're getting a consistently higher profit margin. You're taking home a consistently higher amount of money on each sale after your expenses. And you look at overall in the U.S. commercial segment, you're seeing crazy numbers. U.S. commercial is seeing 40% plus year over year growth, plus 69% year over year in terms of commercial customer count, plus 74% in terms of U.S. commercial remaining deal value, plus 94% year over year in terms of U.S. commercial deals closed, 12x in terms of U.S. commercial customer count growth, and then a plus 131% in U.S. commercial total contract value. Now, these are all great results, but how are they even getting these results? Well, if you look into the CEO's letter that he attached with the overall earnings report they released yesterday, well, here are some of the main points, and they explain pretty well what's going on here behind the surface. Quote, "We were routinely told by investors that building technical infrastructure for the enterprise market, let alone government agencies, was the surest and quickest way to run a business into the ground. Many balked at supporting us. Others insisted we should focus on catering to the needs of consumers, and many more simply would not return our calls. The market, however, has shifted, and quickly our business is now growing at a scale and pace that even our most ardent advocates would have been hard-pressed to say was likely or even possible." And this gets to the basis of why they are seeing such great results. Quote, "We have been investing in and refining our enterprise software platforms for years, and a growing portion of the American corporate sector is now coming to us, more aware than ever of how significant artificial intelligence and large language models will be in reshaping the industries within which they operate. So with this, the huge booming AI wave we are in right now, well, it's creating this demand that not only the top companies can service, but really Palantir can service. And Palantir is locked and loaded." Quote, "Other companies engage in intricate and elaborate efforts to sell and market their offerings. Their resources are focused on marketing at the expense of actually constructing the software and building the systems that they hope to sell." So here the CEO, Mr. Karp, is saying that the big difference between Palantir and its competition is that essentially the competition is all hat and no cattle, and Palantir is all cattle and no hat. Quote, "We have taken a different approach and are now investing even more heavily in simply letting potential partners use our software in order to decide what works and what does not work for themselves. In the last quarter alone, we conducted more than 660 boot camps with organizations across industries and sectors, providing potential partners with an opportunity to test and begin building on our platforms. These enterprises cannot wait for custom solutions to be built, and they are unwilling to invest in software systems that might work someday down the road." Now, these boot camps are actually a key success driver for Palantir. Boot camps are a major way to get customers introduced to Palantir software and its usefulness and then lock them in as customers. And I think markets are really starting to wake up to this and the opportunity that these boot camps have. In fact, analysts over at the Sachs of Goldman said this, quote, "We continue to view Palantir as uniquely positioned to leverage its core data stitching competencies into enterprises that are looking to deploy AI use cases. Over 915 organizations have participated in AI boot camps to date, and 136 deals closed in Q1 of 2024 versus 70 in Q1 of 2023. Goldman said it will be monitoring how effectively Palantir can convert boot camps into bookings and revenue, considering this go-to-market strategy is still being formalized, as well as to better understand the cadence of bookings growth and 1 million plus deals driving the model. So when you're looking at a 12x in U.S. commercial customer growth and ballooning numbers across the board and asking how did they do that? Well, they did that because they focused on investing tons of money into their software instead of focusing on making a quick buck by marketing hard and or shooting money out to Wall Street. And now that is finally paying off. Okay, but then you go over and you look at the stock and you see that it's plummeting. So you ask the question, well, how can earnings be good but at the same time cause such a liquidation? How can Palantir beat analyst expectations but still see the fund managers that hire these analysts sell out? Well, you have to understand that people like to buy the rumor and sell the news. In fact, if you're in ZipTrader U, we actually started saying Monday of last week to look for an anticipatory run heading into earnings because people buy the rumor and they sell the news, and that's what happened. Now, if you look at media headlines about this report, they'll say the sell-off is because of a weak full-year outlook. Sure, management may indeed be taking a more cautious approach, just maybe, to guidance, but for folks on Twitter and in the media screaming that this is the end for Palantir and recommending massive short positions, I would say that's a bit of a stretch. They raised their guidance to between 2.677 and 2.689 billion. They raised their U.S. commercial revenue guidance to in excess of 661 million, representing a growth rate of at least 45%. They raised their adjusted income from operations guidance to between 868 to 880 million. They continue to expect adjusted free cash flow of between 800 million to 1 billion. They continue to expect GAAP operating income and net income in each quarter of this year. One real headwind, though, for Palantir, to be fair, was some of the issues that they're seeing in the overseas markets. In fact, commercial international business declined by 3%. CEO Karp said, quote, "We do have headwinds in Europe, which contribute 16% of the company's business." Karp said during the call, "Europe is gliding towards 0% GDP growth over the next couple of years. That is a problem for us. There is no easy remedy for that." But at the same time, Palantir's overall guidance has been upgraded and is hot, and the overall trend is hot. No earnings report is going to be perfect across all metrics because the world is ever changing. But if you look at the overall picture, things are improving. So I believe the main question shouldn't be what is Palantir stock doing today, but rather what is Palantir stock going to do over the coming years? And is this a good dip buy? So if you go over to our spreadsheet that I last presented and updated back in February, well, my view back then was that Palantir stock in 2024 is going to see sales growth of about 16%, and that's going to motivate the pricing trend that you see here on the left. That 16% with continued profit margin increases would render a justification for a share price above 50 in 2025, 60 in 2026, 69 in 2027, and so forth. Obviously, these numbers are based on the business itself. In reality, we know that markets can climb much higher and lower during euphoria and dysphoria markets, but we can't predict those swings other than to expect that they're going to happen at some point, but we can't predict that they're going to give us a certain price. All we can do is look at what the business itself justifies and use that as a price target. So anyways, does this report suggest and back up the pricing trajectory that I have laid out here? And rather more specifically, does it suggest that my 16% about sales growth year over year target will be hit? Well, again, Palantir expects their revenue for 2024 to be at 2.677 through $2.689 billion, somewhere in that range. And in 2023, they did $2.23 billion. So if they hit the lower range and they only make about $2.67 billion, that's still a 19.7% increase. If they hit the higher range, that's about 20.5% increase. Now, these estimates are seen as scary low by analysts and are motivating some of the sell-off, but they are still a few percentage points higher from where I have them at. But anyways, nonetheless, this revenue boost combined with a continued profit margin expansion and continued recognition and realization of the AI growth curve should motivate the share price to balloon to quite a lot by 2025 alone, more than a double from current trading prices. Okay, so then Charlie, let's approach the main question of this video. Why do you believe that millionaires are going to be made with Palantir stock? Well, I need you to understand and internalize this quote here. Alex Karp just said this quote, "We now earn more profit in a single quarter than the amount of revenue we generated in an entire year a little more than a decade ago." So think about that for a second. Think about that for a momentivo. That's exponential growth. Q1, they earned $106 million in profit. He's saying that in an entire year just a decade ago, they would earn that in total revenue for an entire year. And then all of a sudden, your brain starts clicking on why this company's trend is so lucrative. What if in another 10 years, this year's expected $2.67 billion in revenue turns into $2.67 billion in profit in a single quarter? I mean, profit margins are going up huge quarter over quarter and sales are growing exponentially. So you're scaling up to that reality, and you're scaling up to that reality probably much faster than 10 years. Just a year ago, Palantir was reporting just $16.8 million in net income. Yesterday, they reported $105 million. So even in the last year, you've seen a huge exponential growth of the Palantir business model. And that is only going to get faster and faster and faster in my view. So again, bigger picture here, if you want to understand the case for Palantir to make millionaires, it's because the exponential growth curve is happening both for profit margin and sales at the same time that this massive new industry, AI, is just forming from its infancy, and Palantir is set to be a leader in it. Anyways, let us know what you think about Palantir stock down below. Am I right in my analysis? Do you agree with me or do you disagree? Let us know the reasons down below. We love hearing from you. And in conclusion, a quick plug, what broker should you trade Palantir and other stocks on? Well, thank you for asking. That brings us to today's partner, Moomoo. Moomoo is a powerful platform that delivers speed, reliability, data, and a vast amount of trading tools and analytics. Whether we are talking about real-time market data, level 2, financial news and analysis, advanced charting tools, smart alerts, and more, well, Moomoo offers a ton of features that are essential for any active trader and or investor. Moomoo's interface is really easy to work with. We've been recommending them for years and have a great relationship with them, and we would love to have you on there. And they have arranged an extremely generous 1.5% cash rewards match on total assets transferred into their platform, including cash and shares, or you can choose to have 10 free fractional shares of Magnificent 7 stocks, an excellent incentive to try out a great platform. Anyways, have a good one, folks. We'll see you in the next video.